Okay, boys. This is where your theory training actually starts. The first thing you do after you, of course, interview the cadet, the newly cadet, is of course you roleplay his badge. Do not forget this, because if the guy gets an invite and you don't roleplay his badge, this is an offense, which is called OOC invite, and it's admin prisonable. It's punishable, so don't do it. The first thing you do is roleplay his badge. You say /me, gives the guy, reaches for his pocket, gives the guy the badge, whatever. /do, take or not, and the guy should take the badge. Let's do it, Sam. Let me roleplay your badge. Okay, like this. For his pocket, hands Sam the cadet badge, take. Like this. When the guy takes the badge, you can just tell him to come to lockers. Sam, can you follow me to lockers, please? And you start your theory from here. You say this is the locker room. Of course, you can use /locker to go on duty. And of course, when the guy's going to be invited, he's not going to be on duty yet. So you tell him, can you go and type /locker to go on duty real quick? Sam, can you type /locker, go on duty? Right. You get this officer skin. This is the officer skin. I mean the uniform. Can you please go /locker and go to uniform and choose the first one, the blue one? Yes, right. This is your cadet's uniform. This is the only uniform you can wear for now as a cadet. When you become an officer, you can use some other ones. Can you go ahead and type /locker one more time and go to the equipment? Oh, sorry. As you can see, there are a lot of equipment as well as accessories, nightstick and a mace, first aid kit, tactical vest, everything, sniper rifle, which is really cheap, a spaz, and whatever. What you actually have to carry around all the time is a deagle, nightstick, and a mace. This is mandatory to carry around as a cadet. You should have it all the times, and I'll explain why. If somebody is, for example, you're just running around Pizza Stack, and a civilian comes at you and starts punching you like this. This is why you need a nightstick. You use it to defend yourself. You can do this. You can use a mace, or maybe if somebody's fighting in the street, and you don't necessarily want to treat him as FM3, right? You can just use your mace or your nightstick to defend yourself. That's why you mandatorily need a nightstick, deagle, and a mace as a cadet. And then, Sam, can you go to /locker and go to the equipment, of course, and get an MP5, because having an MP5 as a cadet is highly recommended, of course. And I'll explain why too, because as a cadet, you will most probably be 1016ing, which means partnering with another officer, and you most probably will have to shoot from the car, sometimes when the guy is VFM5 or he's FM5. That's why having an MP5 as a cadet is highly recommended, to the point that it's almost mandatory. But just have an MP5 as a cadet. Okay, let's keep going. By the way, you cannot go off duty. If you type /locker and press duty, you will go off duty, but as a cadet you cannot go off duty, so do not do it for now. As a cadet you don't have permission to do it. Since you get officer and above, you will have to ask for permission to go off duty. Okay, let's keep going. Let me introduce the rooms, the interiors. This is the first room, which is the briefing room, which is exactly the room where divisions usually take meetings. For example, as an officer of the FTO division, we usually have FTO meetings inside of this room, which is called the briefing room. It's just a cute little room. And then you have the chief's office. Of course, your chief's name is Ryan Bishop. And by the way, guys, as an FTO, you have to specify the chief's name. It is mandatory. You have to do it. You have to even type it in the chat. For example, to Sam as a cadet, I would say, this is your chief's office. Do not enter it. You don't have permission to enter it unless somebody calls you or whatever. Just don't enter it. It's not really necessary. Your chief's name is Ryan Bishop, of course, for now. This is your chief. Then the next door, which is your assistant chief office. Your assistant chief is Luca Pierce. Just remember their names. So basically your chief is Ryan Bishop, your assistant chief is Luca Pierce. Let's keep going. A really important thing, we have this door which leads to the roof. And as you can see, we have a little arresting point here. You can arrest suspects here. We have 2 Mavericks, one, and we have another one. You explain all of that to the cadet. But most importantly, why you're actually showing him the roof is to tell him about door abuse. This is really important because it's actually a server offense. So I would say to the cadet, Sam, let's say you're not a Leo officer. Let's say you're not a cadet. You're not LSPD, and we have a gunfight, right? We start shooting each other like this. Go ahead and shoot me. Shoot me. Don't worry. Shoot me. Try to kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Yeah. Shoot me. Shoot me. Kill me. Kill me. Keep going. Keep going. This is what I do. And you, as non-Leo, you cannot enter this door. This is why you should never do it. You cannot do it. This is called door abuse. Because Sam, if he's not LSPD, he cannot enter this door. And he also cannot enter some of the other doors, which are considered Leo doors. So do not do it. This is called door abuse. Never do it. Okay, let's keep going. Sam, can you come to the garage? Okay, this is the garage door, of course. And here you start explaining the cars. First, you can start with the cars. You can explain, you can tell him the HPV is the only vehicle. This is a bike for the cadets. This is the only vehicle you can grab as a cadet without any permission. You don't need any permission to grab an HPV. You can just grab it and go. For example, this is the LSPD Cruiser. You can only take it from rank 1+ officer and above. You cannot drive it as a cadet. This is the LSPD Ranger. You can only drive it as a Sergeant Plus. As R3+, of course. This is the LVPD Cruiser. You can only drive it from rank 4+, Lieutenant Plus. You cannot drive it as a cadet for sure. This is the LSPD, the FBI Ranger, right? Yeah, the Ranger, which is also from rank 4+, Lieutenant and above. You just explain every car. I don't know why is this car parked here, but this is the Burrito, which is for SWAT only for now. Let's keep going. We have this cute little car, which is the only car for the FTO division, only field training office. You see all of these fast and good cars like Turismo and Cheetah and whatever, and Bullet. These are all traffic enforcement. There's a division. Of course, you know, you explain divisions to the cadet at this point. You tell him, in the LSPD we have 3 main divisions, which have subdivisions, of course. You have to explain the divisions. You have to say, these cars are for the traffic enforcement division only. So when you get the rank 1, when you become an officer, you could join a division, and you could join traffic enforcement, for example, to become a traffic enforcement officer, of course, and you could drive these fast and fancy sport cars. Here we have 2 Sultans, which are usually for SWAT. SWAT is also a division, of course, and it's aimed to gather all the best shooters, all the fast reaction officers. Basically, to join SWAT, you have to be a good shooter, you have to react fast, you have to group patrol. That's what the SWAT is about. For example, if somebody's calling for a backup, the SWAT's mission is to fucking answer it right away and help the officer. That's what SWAT is. Of course, you know the SWAT. It's pretty obvious. The Burrito should be spawned here. And as I said, is for the SWAT division. Yosemite is also for the SWAT division. It's for some roleplay situations rarely used. You would explain the surfable. You would say, we have this FBI truck, which is a surfable, which could be used to rush turfs or whatever. And you explain this. This is the Enforcer. It's a really big car, which has 2,500 HP. We use it to drag... to deliver most wanted suspect. The suspects with 6 stars. And it has an interior at the back. You can show him, you can get in, and you can say, Sam, just press Y at the door and you'll see the interior. This is all happening inside the Enforcer. You explain that to him, and then you ask him, okay, can you follow me? The last thing you explain to him is the reassignment line. This is the last thing. You tell him, every 2 hours or every time after turf, which is 2 hours as well, right? All the LSPD members gather for something called reassignment. Reassignment is when we reassign units for their patrol. Basically, what happens, this nigga has to put his badge on, anyways. What happens? We gather cadets stay here in this line. This is the cadets line. And then officers and corporals stand in this line. This is the officers and corporals line. And then this line is for sergeants only. This line is for lieutenants, captains, and chief, and above everything. Okay, so basically what happens, the guy who is hosting a reassignment, you can host a reassignment from rank 3 plus, will firstly start with a mic check. He will mention some officers' names, and they have to answer in the dispatch, of course. You should explain to the cadet. Something happened to my voice. Okay, it's probably good on the recording, it's fine. You should explain to the cadet that whenever his name is getting called during the microphone check, he should say 10-2. For example, Cadet Sam. Cadet Sam, you should say 10-2. Can you say 10-2? I'm probably having some Discord issues. He's not hearing me. It's fine, it's fine. Sam, can you hear me? Can you say 10-2? Alright, but you should say it with your voice. If he's not answering with his voice during the reassignment, of course you should ask him about his microphone, what happened to his mic, and whatever. This is basically happening to check whether his microphone is alright, if it's working and everything. Yeah, my mic is not, it's fine. Recording got it, okay. The next thing you should do is finally ask him if the cadet has any questions which should be answered. If he has any questions, you answer them, of course. And you specify the most important parts. You tell him you cannot arrest or charge as a cadet. You cannot do it. As a cadet, you cannot arrest or charge. You cannot use the /d/department /d chat, of course, which is the department chat. The chat where all the Leos can see your message. You cannot use it unless it's a backup. And then you tell him to change his name to CDT, first, last, like this, the server name. And basically he's good to go. You just tell him, welcome to LSPD. Sam, let's have your first update and rollout. So can you grab an HPV for me if you can hear me? Okay, he can, very good. I'm gonna ask you to update and roll out, which means in /R in the radio, you should specify your name. You should say Cadet Sam, heading, going for 10-8, which is on duty, citywide over. You should report and just roll out and just go to patrol. So Sam, can you go ahead and do that real quick? Update and roll out. Yeah, very good. And lastly, you tell him, welcome to LSPD, Sam. I'm really glad, we're really happy to have you as an addition to LSPD. I'm going to be dragging you back to Central Dispatch now, where all the officers hang out and update situations, respond to backups, whatever. And you drag him back to Central Dispatch, you do all the updates, and that's it for the theory training, you guys. All right, I hope the things I explained were all the necessary parts you have to mention during your theory training. It's really simple, and all of this which I explained will take probably like 15 minutes, and it covers all the major topics. For example, as you heard, who the fuck shooting me? All right, as you heard, I was telling the cadet that he cannot arrest people or he cannot charge people, which is really important to mention during the theory, because if the cadet if you don't mention it, maybe the cadet just goes around and starts fucking breaking the rules by charging, by charge stacking people, by rush tasing people, by arresting random people. We cannot allow it. And that's why you specify all of these necessary topics during your theory training. All right, let's see you further in the practical one. That's all for me, boys.